Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing well. So in this video, we will understand the data type and variable in Python. We have already successfully installed all the ID and environment for our coding. So from today, we will start the coding. So what I'll do, whatever I'll code, I'll share with you all as well. So you can practice from there. So how I'm going to share and what is the plan? So I will create one folder, and whatever the material I'll create during this video, I'll keep those material in that folder, and that folder I'll upload on my GitHub. So from the GitHub, you can successfully download and you can practice. So what is GitHub? How I'll upload over there? So these are like a bit early right now. So I will explain you about the GitHub in detail, but as of now, what you need to do that you just go to the github.com. So what you do that you just write over here github.com. So just go over here, and if you don't have an account, just create an account. Like as we create an account any platform, just create over here and it will be empty. So I have already the account over here. So what I'll do, I'll go to my profile. And on my profile, I'll go to my repository. I'm already having a 59 repository, but for this complete playlist, I'll create a new repository. So I'll go to the new, and I'll write over here the repo name Python for all YT, means YouTube playlist. So that is my repo name over here, and then I'll add the readme file over here, and I'll also add the license over here, MIT license. So why am I adding this readme file and this license? Just ignore right now, because it is too early. You have not written even a single line of code, and to understand these, or I think you need some more video to watch. So I'll say that just ignore this part. No need to do anything over here. As I am doing over here, just ignore. Just you need to create the GitHub account, that's all. Okay, and I'll just create this repo. Once I'll create this repo, and what I'll do that I'll just clone this repo on my desktop. Okay, so I'll go to my Git. Because Git is already downloaded in my local, but right now you no need to download any kind of Git or Git bash. Just stay with me. Just I'm giving the instruction that how you can how I'll keep all this over here and how you can download from there. Just stay for a couple of videos, then I'll explain about this. Okay, just open this, and over here what I'll do, again these are not for you, this is just for me to configure my repo, remote repo with my local repo. Okay, so I'll come over here and I'll write over here cd desktop. Okay, desktop, and then I'll write over here git clone. I'll go to this and I'll click on this code, and over here there is a HTTPS path. I'll take this and I will paste over here. Once I'll paste it, it will clone my repo in my on my desktop. So if I'll write over here cd, and let's say this Python for all playlist, it will go in that. Okay, it is in that. Now I'll open this into my VS Code. So what you need to do, you just create one. If you are practicing with me with this video, you just create one folder on your desktop or download wherever you want. Okay, then what you do, basically you go to the search bar over here, you just write the VS Code. Okay, VS Code, and click on open. Perfect. So once you open this, then there is an option. I'll show you. Just let it open first. So just go to VS Code. Okay, VS Code Studio, and over here whatever the folder you have created on your desktop, just create one simple folder on your desktop. Okay, once you have created the folder on your desktop, come to the VS Code, open the VS Code and go to the file, and inside the file there's an option over here, open folder. Once you click on this and you redirect wherever you have created the folder. Let's say my folder is over here, right? Let's say this one. Just now we have cloned Python for all YT playlist, right? Same I had in the in my GitHub repo. So same folder I have created. Just click on this and click on select. So this folder will get open in your VS Code, right? No need to create any repository as of now on your GitHub. Just create an account. Why? Because whenever I'll upload any document over there, you can download from there. I'll show you that how to download that. Okay, so it is day one. I'll write over here, let's say day one dot IPYNB, because we'll start with the Jupyter notebook. Okay, let's say, and then select the kernel from here. So I'll go to the Python environment. I think these all we have already seen in last video, where I have shown you that how to select the kernel, what is kernel. We have already seen all this part, right? So I have selected the base from here. Now I'll write over here, let's say first code, try to execute with me, print welcome to the Python world. Okay, now execute this. It will take some couple of minutes and it should execute over here. If you're getting any error, please comment in the comment box. I'll try to help it out with that. Okay, so it may take a couple of minutes and then it will execute. See, the code has been executed and welcome to the Python world. We can see the result over here. Okay, now come back to my GitHub repo. So in this repo, Python for all YT playlist, in this we have only two, license and readme.md, right? Now come to my Jupyter notebook, VS Code. Over here we have day one IPYNB, right? This one is not available over there. So what I'll do that, I'll go to the terminal, new terminal, and conda activate base. I'll go to my base environment. Okay, so we are in the base. Now what I'll do that, I'll push this day one IPYNB, whatever I have over here, I will push this to the GitHub. So how I'll do this, as of now, just ignore this part. I'll show it later on. Okay, git add, then git commit -m day one. Perfect. Then git push -u origin master. Okay, it will push this file, whatever I've created, to my repo. That is the one which I have created over here. So now let me refresh this. Once I'll refresh this, you can see day one IPYNB is available over here. Now, so let's say whatever after this video, there is a lot of code will be there in this this day one IPYNB, right? And at the end of the video, I'll push this to this GitHub repo. Correct. So what you need to do that, once you have created your GitHub account, you can just click on the link which I will provide you in the description. Just click on that link. It will redirect to you this repo. Okay, and then you can download the complete folder from here. So how you can download? Once you are here, just go to click on this code. Okay, over here there's an option download zip. So once you click on this, it will basically download the complete zip file. So what I will do that, I will copy this URL and I'll pass into the description. So once you will click on that URL, let's say Control V, where it will go? It will go to this. Maybe let me show you in the incognito mode first. So let's say open a new window, new incognito mode, and over here I'll paste this. So once I'll paste this, it will exactly land to the same playlist where from where I have taken this URL, right? So what you need to do that, just click on this one, and over here there's an option over here, download zip, and once you click on this, it will download the zip and it will save in your download directory, right? So again, if you see over here, it has been downloaded in my download directory, and you can extract from there and you can open this into the VS Code and you can practice from there. Or what you will do, just open this, and whatever the folder IPYNB is there, just copy that and keep in your folder whatever the folder you have created, and from there you start practicing. Okay, now so I have taken the day one IPYNB and I have successfully written first code, welcome to the Python world. So before executing any other code, it is important to understand the data type in Python or any programming language. So let's understand the basic data type in the Python. So very first one is, let's say, integer. What is called? integer. So int is the short form of the integer. So what is the integer? Any whole number is known as an integer. So let's say 56, 2, 89 or 3670. So these are the integer inside the Python. Okay. Now next is, let's say, float or decimal. We call the float. So any decimal value, let's say 12.56 or let's say 1289. So 1289.785 is the float inside the Python. So any value with the decimal, the 2 decimal place or 3 decimal place or 4 decimal place, known as a float inside the Python. Okay. Next is a string. So we call that str. Short form is the of the string. So any value, any number is written under the single inverted comma or double inverted comma is known as a string. Okay. Even the number also can be string if you write inside the double inverted comma or single inverted comma. So let's say I'll write the name Prashant. Okay. So this is the alphabetical word, right? If you write without the single inverted comma or double inverted comma, this will give the error. Why? Because by default, this is the what? This is the alphabetical word, right? Alphabetical word. So that is the behavior of this is the alphabetical. But if you don't write with any single inverted or double inverted, it will create the error. But let's say there is any number 1 or 2, whatever. It's let's say 1 or 4 or let's say 6. The nature of this number is a what? Integer, right? It's an integer. But if you write without inverted comma, it will behave as an integer. But if you write with the inverted comma, let's say if I write this as a with inverted comma, then it will behave as a string. I hope it is clear. If you don't write any inverted comma for any alphabetical value or alphanumerical value, it will give the error. But if you don't write any double inverted comma, single inverted comma for any of the number, the nature of that number will be integer, right? It will not give the any error. But if you write with any double inverted or single inverted comma, it will be a string. Clear? So int, float, string is clear. Next is the date and time. Next is the date. So date will be, of course, it also used to be in the single inverted comma or double inverted comma. So let's say this is the date which I'm writing. So this, the behavior of this is the date, but we also write under the single inverted comma or double inverted comma. Next is the date and time. Date, time. Date and time. So it is also something like a 12:02:2025 hours, let's say 10:30:25. So it is something 12 to 25, 10:30:25. So we write this like this, or there's another way also to write the time and date. So the basically in data in the basic data types in the Python is integer, float, string, date and time. It's clear? How to identify it is a string or it's an integer or it's a float or it's a date time. So any whole number is known as an integer, right? Any number with this decimal values is known as a float. Any value with double inverted comma or single inverted comma known as a string, right? And if there is a date and time, if there is a date, that will be the date. If there is a date and time, there is a date and time, right? But the behavior of this initially will be the string. Right? So let's check one by one. So there is an inbuilt type function. This is the inbuilt type function in the Python which tell you that what is the behavior, what is the which kind of data it is. So what I'll do that I'll write over here type 1. Okay, type 1. So see, it is an integer, right? So let's say that I'll write over here. I think it should be visible, right? Let me increase the font size. If it is not visible, I'll increase the font size. Yeah, it's an integer, right? Next, if I write, let's say, type 12.56 and close the bracket, it will show you that it is a float, right? Now, if I write over here type, let's say type, and if I write over here single inverted comma 12.56 same 12.56. I did a mistake, and it's a string. So now the question is that why I'm writing this type over here. So type is an inbuilt function inside the Python which is used to show the type of any value, whether it's an integer, it's a float, it's a string, or it's a date and time, or it's a list, tuple, dictionary, which we'll see in other videos, upcoming videos, right? So type is basically a kind of a inbuilt function in the Python which is used for checking the type of any data. Correct? Which kind of data type it is. I hope it is clear. Now the question is just how I am running this one by one very fast. Because if it is new for you, if it is your this first time you are coding, you will be confused that how I can move to the next cell, right? Simply, what I'll do that, let's say I'll write over here type, okay, small. It's a case sensitive. Python is a case sensitive, guys. So you need to write it is in small type. Okay, now Prashant. Correct? I have written this. Now I want to execute. So press shift and enter. Shift and enter if you're using the window, right? If you're using the Mac and any other, I think I need to Google it or how you can run this. Otherwise, there's the other option is that click on run here. This here. Click on run. So as soon as you click on this run, it will execute this and it will show you the what is the result of this line of code. So what I'm trying to understand over here, I have written one Prashant inside the double inverted comma, and I'm trying to check the type of this data. So the type is str. Str is nothing but is string, correct? And to execute this in short form is shift, let's say shift plus enter. Okay, how I can write the comment over here? Let's say if I don't write this hash, it will behave as a code and it will give the error. Let me execute this. See, it is invalid syntax, right? Why? Because this is the this whatever I've written over here, shift plus enter is behaving as a code and there is no meaning of this, right? So if you want to write any comment, so you need to write over here. Once you write the hash, it behave as a comment. It is non-executable code over here under the this line of cell. Okay, so now execute this and it will show you that. Shortcut is shift plus enter, or you can click over here to execute that. Now how to get the next line of code? So if you enter shift plus if you click shift plus enter, it will execute and it will create the next line of code, next line of cell. Okay, if you click on this, let's say this time type and I'll write 25-02-2025. okay, now what I'll do that I'll click on this. See, is str, right? It is a date, but it is a str. But if you use the pandas, in that it will predict as a date. Okay, anyway, so just consider this is also anything inside the double inverted comma, single inverted comma is known as a string. Clear? Now I have written this and I have executed from here. Now how to get the next line of cell to run? So as soon as I hover my mouse, you can see there's a three option over here: markdown, code, and generate. Right? I click on code over here. So that I can write anything. Or let's say this time 45 plus 60. Okay. Now shift and enter. This I'm going to execute using the shift and enter. So once I click shift and enter, it's execute and create the next cell to write a code. So there's a two way to execute. One, you can click on this and you can run, or you can just click shift and enter, so it will execute and it will also show it will create the next line of code. So what I have done over here, I have taken 45 plus 60, so it is showing me 105. So I think guys it's clear. We have a basically int, float, and string. Date and date time is there, but if you write under the single inverted comma or double inverted comma, it will also behave as a string. Okay, but in the pandas it is different. Right now just consider it is a string. Okay, so how to check the type of any data type? You can use the type function, which is in small, type, small, to check the what is the data type of any data, right? It is that one. So now next, what we need to understand? Next we need to understand the variable. So what I'll write, I'll just click on this markdown. Markdown is something like a write anything in English. So over here, I'll just write over here variable variable. What is variable? So variable is a uh, container that store any value, any value. Okay, now I'll click on shift and enter. See, it is giving me the kind of statement over here or definition. So how I have done this, again I'll delete this and I'll show you how I have done this. Just click on this markdown. So markdown is used to write a plain English inside your code. That is only possible inside your IPYNB file, that is Jupyter notebook file. Okay, this markdown is not applicable into the .py file. There, if you want to write any kind of comment or definition, you need to write the what hash and then write a comment. But inside the Jupyter notebook, you can create your own notes. So you can write the code also, and to explain the code, you can write the markdown. Inside the markdown, you can write the your definition or whatever is your understanding. So next, how to do that? I'll click on markdown. Single hash means it will create the first header. Double means it will create the second header, means header, subheader. Okay, so I'll click on only one hash means it will give the heading of that. Variable. Okay, now variable is container that store any data. So that is the definition. Now we understand the data type. Now variable is the any container that store the value. So let's say that I'll write x equal to 5. Okay, as soon as I have written x equal to 5, so your x will become your 5. So this 5, whatever is, let's say x equal to 5. So 5 is my integer, right? And a data. That value will assign to my x, and the x will become what? 5. So x will become 5. So you want to see, let's say, what I'll do now, I'll execute this code. Okay, so this is the assignment. So as soon as you just write x equal to 5, it will not going to show you any kind of a what result over here. Why? Because it is just assign the value 5 into x. What is x over here? X is my variable that is storing my data 5 inside it. Clear? So x is my variable which is storing the data 5 inside it, and it, as soon as you run this, it will not give you any result. Why? Because this is just a assignment operation is happening over here. It is just taking that 5 inside the x. That's all. So to know whether this 5 is inside the x or not, what you will do? You will just write over here x and run. So you will find that the x is 5 over here. Now you to understand that the type of x, what is the type of x? What I'll do that I'll just write over here type of x. So the type of x is int, and if you want to see the value of x, just write x over here. So it is 5. Clear? So you understand what is a variable? Variable is nothing but a container that is basically storing any value. Now your question will be that why do we need variable? We can simply, let's say if I want to do the sum of two number, let's say sum of two number, I can write 5 plus 6, right? 5 plus 6 and it can give 11. So why we need a variable? Why need a container to store the value and then execute? Why do we need that? The answer is Python code or any programming language, it is used to basically perform certain task or operation which is predefined. So if you, let's say, write 5 plus 6, it can give only the answer 11, right? But if you take any variable and later on, if you want to change the value of that variable, and you can run it again and again, correct? How to understand that? So let me show you that what I'm trying to make you understand. Let's say that I have created one calculator program. This is the calculator program, Python program. What is that? It is a Python program, calculator Python program. what it will do basically, it will just do some certain task. Let's say sum and multiplication. Okay, now I'll have one application. As you know that we have a different kind of web page, or you also have, let's say, a calculator inside your mobile, right? So let's say this, I have one page, UI. Understand that. What is UI? A kind of, you can say, web page. In this web page, I have a box over here to enter the value A, and I have another box over here to enter the value B, and over here it will show the result, right? So as soon as I write 5 over here and 6 over here, this value will go. This is my UI, just front end. This is my front end, and in the back end I have a code over here, A plus B, which will give me the result over here, and this result will go to my front end. So this is my Python code, guys. This is my Python code. And over here A plus B are given. So this will give, as soon as you run the code A plus B, it will create the result of that, and that result will go to your front end and it will display your result over here. So as a user, open this front end, as a user, once it opens this front end, the user has written over here 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6 he has written. So as soon as you write this 5 and 6, it will go back over here and it will assign A equal to 5 and B equal to 6. What is the behavior of this code? It will basically execute and give the result. So 5 plus 6 is 11. This 11 will pass over here and it will show over here. Understand? Now what I'll do that, let's say that you are not using this variable, you are using direct hard coded over here. So let it be 11 over here. Okay, so you have directly hard coded. So let's say next is that you have one Python code over here. You have a Python code over here, which is 5 and plus 6, and it is answer is always 11, right? And you have created your one UI front end where the user will give the what? His input to get the result, right? Now the question is that this 5 and 6 is the hard coded, right? If user will give any result, any input, where he will give? There is no variable over here, right? So Python code or any programming language code is basically why we need to write this. We write this to basically perform certain tasks for year and year, right? It is not like every time we want to execute some task, we will write a Python code. No, we have created this. Let's say we have created this. What? We have created this application, a simple application calculator, right? Where we are doing the sum application, sum operation. So this sum operation, any user or n number of user can come, assign the value, it will go to the Python code, it will do the sum and it will return back and it will show over here, right? And this can be only possible by the variable. If you hard code this, how will you change this number again and again, right? Let's say my wish to execute 5 plus 6. Your wish to execute 10 plus 20. Someone's want to execute 500 plus 300. So if you have not defined the variable, if you have not basically stored that number into variable, how are you going to hard code that? How are you going to execute that, right? So for every users, you need to write the code again and again, right? So 5 plus 6, let's say your wish to execute 10 plus 20, someone want 500 plus 200. So you need to write a three code for a simple operation. So that is not the way any programming language work. So in that, variable is important. So variable is basically a kind of a placeholder. A placeholder, what it does, it takes the value whatever the user define, whatever the user give the input, whatever the user define the input, that value it takes, right? It takes and it execute and give the return as a result. In mathematics also, what do we do basically? We used to write over here x plus y equal to 10, where y equal to 5 find x. Why you should take this? Because variable is important. Until unless you don't have a variable, you cannot make anything for the larger audience. Clear? And what is variable? Variable is just a container which store the value. That's all. Okay, now come to my Python code, where I'll write over here, let's say x equal to 5 and y equal to 6, and then I'll write x plus y, and it will execute 11. Now let's change this 6 and over here 7 and see 13. So variable is basically to store the any value. In Python, it is important to understand how we can define any variable. What are the rules to define any variable inside Python? So you can use the alphanumerical value to define any variable. So I can write x1 equal to 56, y1 or let's say y2 equal to 34, and I can write x1 plus y1, and it will give the result as 90. Now if you write over here 1x equal to 45, 1y equal to let's say 2, it will give the error invalid decimal literal. What does it mean? So any variable never ever start with any numerical value. Okay, you cannot start the variable name with the numerical value. So you can write the alphanumerical, but numerical alpha you cannot write. You can write x1, x2, x3 or abcx or age 1, age 2, age 3. You can write that, but you cannot write 1 age, 2 age, 3 age. You cannot write that. Rule to define a variable. Rule number 1, always never start with numerical value. Okay, now let's check that if I want to define this with any special character, underscore, and over here underscore. Perfect. And now underscore x plus underscore y. If I do that, 67, it is possible. Now if I write let's say percentage, and over here also y percentage, and over here percentage, it will execute. Line magic function percentage not defined. So you cannot start your variable with any special character like dollar or percentage. Let's try to use the dollar also over here. Invalid syntax, right? So you cannot never start with any special character. Now you will say that just now I have done with underscore and it was working, right? It was working, but why it is not? Why I have written that it's never start with the special character? So with underscore you can define any variable, and this is called basically private level variable. Anyway, what is private level variable? We will see that, but right now just understand that you can start any variable with the underscore, but you never ever start with numerical value. You never ever start with any special character, only the underscore. Okay, next is that, let's say I'll write over here x1 equal to 45, x, or let's say over here x1 equal to 34. So over here, if you see over here, what I have done, this is the capital X, right? And this is the small x. So as I said that Python is case sensitive programming language, right? So in that case, your capital X and small x both are different. Okay. And with this, I'm also trying to explain that you can define any variable with alphanumerical. Means first alphabetical, then any numerical value, right? So now let's try to check that what is the value of capital X1, and next is the small small x1. So you will see that it is 34. Why? Because capital X and small x both are different. Okay, and another learning what is over here, we can write the variable name with alphanumerical. I think it's very much clear, right? Now next is that if I want, let's say x underscore 1 equal to 56, will work it? Yes, that is also possible. But if you write over here 1 underscore x, it will not work. You will see the red mark over here. It means that you cannot define this. Means variable cannot start with the any numerical value. Okay. Next, if I write x percentage, will work? Will work this or not? No. Percentage having a different meaning inside the Python, so you cannot use that one. There are certain words is reserved in the Python. You cannot define that. You cannot define variable with that name. So let's say like type, print, list. You cannot use this kind of word inside the Python to define any variable. Why? Because these are the reserved word inside the Python. The lists are more. As we grow, we'll see that. Okay. So as soon as, let's say that if I want to define some variable, if I write over here, list, you can see the name has, the color has changed over here. So we cannot define with this. So if I write S, say, now it is fine. Now it is fine. 45. Correct. So I think you understand that. The third one is that there are some reserved words inside Python that can't be used for variable name. Okay. 4. Variable name always, not always, variable name start with underscore or underscore and alphabetical value. Perfect. So these are the learning for the variable, like how we can define the variable and what are the like precaution we need to take care while defining the variable. Perfect. So now we'll do some kind of arithmetical operation, whatever we have learned from our variable. So arithmetical, arithmetical, arithmetical operation. Perfect. So first one is the, let's say, sum. We'll do the sum. This should be not magical Python. It should be the markdown, and now it's fine. Let me make it a sum. So what I'll do that, I'll take a two number x, or let's say number 1, num1 equal to 45, and num underscore 2 equal to 56, and I will sum both the numbers. So num1, and I'll assign to the variable result equal to num1 and num2. Sorry, num1 plus, I did a mistake guys, num1 plus num2. Okay, done. And now I'll try to see the result. Okay, so 101. So what is happening over here? Let's try to understand this. What is happening over here? So I am assigning this 45 to the num1. So num underscore 1 value will be 45. Correct. Then I am taking another variable num underscore 2, which value will be what? Which value will be 56. In the next line of code, I am writing over here num1 plus num underscore 2. So basically it will add my 45 plus 56, and whatever the result of this, what is the result of this? 101. So that one I am assigning to result variable. So what is the value of result? the value of result is 101, and that is what it is showing over here, 101. Perfect. Now another way, another one. So let's now another way to write the same code. So I'll take, let's say, num1 comma num2 equal to 45 comma 23. Okay, and then result equal to, in the bracket I'll write num1 plus num2, and I'll print over here result. See, 68. What is happening over here? Let's try to understand this also. So this is also the way to assign the value to the variable. So this 45 will go to my num1 and this 23 will go to my num2. So I can write like this: num1 comma num2 equal to 45 comma 23. So this 45 will go over here, and this 23, let me change the color of this. So this 23 will go to this one. So if you write like this, let's say num1 comma num2 equal to 23, what will happen in this case? Tell me that. What will be the value of num1? What will be the value of num2? Just pause the video and think and comment in my comment box. What will the value? Confused? It will give the error, or it will assign the value. Confused? Let's try to execute that. We'll see that over here. So num1 comma num2 equal to 23, right? Same thing I did. See over here. It is giving the error. Cannot unpack non-iterable int object. You have given the two variable, but you are given the one value. So Python is basically confused to which value I need to assign to which variable. You will say that I want to assign 23 to both variables. So in that case, you will write the 23 two times, guys. Python is not so smart to understand that 23 should go to both the variable. Okay. Now let's check. Num1 23. Now let's say second. Where is my code? Okay. Num2 23. Now let's change this. If I change this to, let's say 20, so where it will get assigned? So in which variable will be 23 and which variable will be 20? Tell me. Pause the video and comment. Your num1 will be the 23 and num2 will be your, I think I have not executed, sorry, let me execute this. Okay, so num1 will be your 23 and num2 will be your 20. Understand? So this is how also you can assign the value to the variable. In the variable, you cannot only assign the value, but also you can assign the operational result in that. Okay, next is subtraction. So what I'll do that, I'll take the, let's say, A equal to 78 and B equal to 34. Okay, and A minus B. So see, it is 44, right? Now, or you can just assign this to any variable over here. Let's say result equal to A minus B, and then you can write over here result. Perfect. 44. Now I'll take let's say multiplication. So A equal to, again, 34, and let's say a B equal to 2, and I'll write over here result equal to A into B. So this asterisk in Python is multiplication. Okay, now see result, and try to print this also, result. Why do we need to write result 2 times to get it? Because over here it is what is happening, it is multiplying a and b and assigning to result. That's why it is not printing. So to print I need to write it again so I can see the result into the console. It's clear? Next, division. So over here, let's say a equal to 45, b equal to 3. So result equal to a by b. Write the result. So 15.0. So whenever you write this, it means that it will show you the value in the decimal. But if you write as a percentage, it will show you the only the remainder. So we'll again see the division. We'll see again. Okay, it is just a today's first class. We'll trying to understand everything. Okay. Now next, let's say name equal to Prashant. Whenever we write a Python code or any code, we take the variable name, we try to justify the variable name it's supposed to be. For example, Prashant is just a name over here. So that's why I'm taking the name as a variable over here. So it also make your code readable and anyone can understand what is the meaning of this, right? So try to take always your variable which basically understand or it's basically identify the meaning of this variable. So now over here, let's say I'll write age equal to 35. This is not my age, guys. Please don't consider 35 is my age. Okay, I am much younger than this. Next, let's say place equal to INDIA India. So now execute this. Now let's try to understand that what is the data type of name, what is the data type of age, and what is the data type of place. So what I'll do, type of name next, type of, let's say, age, or if I write over here, let's say type of place, int and string. So for the age it's showing the int and for the place it's showing the string. That is also possible. You can also bring all together over here. Just write from over here. Okay, a string, name is a string, age is an integer, and place is the string again. So now let's try to print name comma age comma and place. Prashant's age and India. So as of now, you can also print the variable into one line and you can print one by one also. So this is the guys basically the data type and variable, how you can like assign any value into the variable. So this is just a simple video and you practice with this. Just assign some value, assign the date and time, assign the name, place, or any number, try to do the subtraction, division, multiplication. So practice all this. So it's just a simple assignment of data into variable. That's all. Now what I'll do that I'll just push all this code to my GitHub so you can download this repo from there. So let's say git add, okay, git commit -m day 1 completed, and now git push -u origin master. So it will push all the complete repo, complete this Jupyter notebook on my repo. From there you can download. So let me see that it has done or not. Okay, over here, let me refresh this. It is refreshed. Now what I'll do that I'll click on day 1 and I think it should visible all the code whatever I've written today. See, in float, okay, last, see. So this is available over here. How you can download this? Just reach over here. I'll give this URL and just click on this code, and over here there's the option to download zip. So thank you so much. If you like this video, please comment that you are learning from my video. and share with all so other can also learn from this. Thank you so much. And if you find it interesting, if you find this channel interesting, please subscribe as well. Thank you so much guys. See you in the next video.